Okay, it should be live. Hi, it's me, your mother goose Justine, and I am back with another BingeLynn Read React, and I would love to welcome my gaggle back to my flock. Well, we got a doozy to react to today, guys. I found one from about 3 years ago. It's titled Stop Telling Me Who I Am. It's about Amber basically uses this as 20 minutes to talk all about her binge eating disorder that she now claims she never had. So I'll have a timestamp to when this reaction begins pinned in the comments in case you want to skip right to this reaction. I just thought that this one was kind of funny because, now she's basically, because now she's all cured and she's like, she's in Oklahoma getting no help for nothing and drinking alcohol all day and claiming that she's cured of all. So, acting as if she never had a binge eating disorder, acting like she never had a binge disorder just because she wanted to get weight loss surgery. And then she quit the weight loss surgery program after she finally convinced them that maybe that she doesn't have a eating disorder. Guys, I can't. Sorry, guys, I'm going on. Let me see who was first. Professional Killjoy was first. They said I missed phase one. Tell me about it. Next was Ice Tall Latte, Annabelle, Jess Ann, Canadian Zen Girl, Stephanie, Antini, Pretty Princess, Rainy Rage. Welcome, everybody. I hope everyone had a good week, having a good weekend. I'm kind of losing track of what day of the week it is because of this Vlogmas thing. Oh, it's Camps. That's good to see you. Hey, Brooklyn. Welcome. I hope all is well. So this one, I was clicking. I was just clicking on like older videos, and I'm like, I don't know. Why do I? So it's like Amber doesn't post for a few days, so I start watching older videos. Like I need a life. Anyway, so I'm clicking, and I'm like, what? She's talking all about her binging in this one, and I'm like, well. But apparently she never had a binge eating disorder though, because that's what she said to the weight loss surgery people. uh Wait, I did try the butter macaronis. I meant to say something about that, Matei. Thank you for asking. So yesterday's Vlogmas, I posted a recipe video. I made Amber's very famous butter Parmesan sketty noodles. So I made them as much like Amber as possible. I couldn't help myself. I did add one seasoning. I'm sorry, everybody. So I don't know if that's cheating or if it counts, but I recreated Amber's recipe. Probably not as entertainingly as say Zach would, but I wanted to try veganizing it myself. I wasn't sure if I'm as advanced of a chef to recreate one of Amber's creations. So you guys can let me know what you think. Oh, thank you. Okay, said loving Vlogmas. You have the best sense of humor. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. I think you guys need, oregano. Yeah, you got to put or something. You got to make it taste like anything other than garlic salt, for the love of God. So, oh, thank you. Sock Puppet said yesterday's vlog was very entertaining. Thank you. So, definitely, guys, check that out. And now I'm all caught up with vlogs and I don't know what to do. And now I know how Amber feels. I do have tomorrow. I know that tomorrow, God, how am I going to vlog tomorrow? Anyway, so tomorrow, because tomorrow's Sunday and tomorrow's a big Eagles game and all that, I'm not going to go live. So, nor am and I don't have anything to post for a vlog tomorrow. So, I have something special I'm going to post tomorrow that I hope all of you watch tomorrow for Vlogmas. It's actually something I'm so excited to post it because it's never before seen footage. And I'm so excited to post it. Wait, it's not an authentic Lynn recipe, Craig said. Well, did I really ruin it by putting a seasoning in there? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to botch her recipe. I just wanted it to taste like something. I'm sorry. Other than salt. Sorry, everybody. It was, honestly, I was impressed with the recipe. I definitely check it out. But I think it was also really funny because there's a what do you call it? There's a not a conspiracy. There's been a lot of drama surrounding my pony hoodie in this house. So if you guys know what I'm talking about, you guys would understand why I've had to hide that hoodie, and now I had to stuff it somewhere where nobody would know it was. Now everybody wants the hoodie, friggin', and I'm not gonna give up the hoodie because I didn't get it on a sale price. Okay, it's my hoodie. I didn't even finish paying for it with Klarna. You're gonna make me give up the hoodie? Let me finish making the installments, and then I'll give it up. Jeez. Thank you. Lola said I support your oregano habit. Like I said, I didn't mean to botch her recipe. It's almost like I add a seasoning almost as a reflex. You know, the whole like just simply putting garlic garlic salt, not even garlic. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm fighting for my hoodie, Amy. Anyway, just putting garlic salt and Parmesan. It felt like just a base. Like I needed something else on top of that. I'm not mailing you the hoodie, Annabelle. Everybody wants my hoodie and they can all kiss my ass. You know where my hoodie is? No, you don't. And you won't know because I'm hiding it. It is stuffed. And you might be wondering, well, isn't it going to get wrinkled? You don't know where I stuffed it. Saying I could have stuffed it somewhere where it's not stuffed. So, you don't know. You made it, Alicia. Yes. Oh, yeah. I wanted to say to you guys, actually, I got to make this one a quick one because my mom needs me for something. So unfortunately, I kind of have to get right to it. I'm sorry. I love just chatting with you guys, and especially the day before a game. I need my talking to you guys time because I get nervous. I'm actually not nervous I am nervous for our game. Let me tell you what's important because tomorrow's probably going to be a heavily watched NFL game, right? The Eagles and the Cowboys. But the way that I'm seeing that matchup, because both us and the Cowboys, we are bitter rivals, right? We hate each other. Not personally. It's nothing personal. It's just because we're in the same division and we don't like when each other wins. It's like I said, it's nothing personal. It's like a reflex. It's friggin', it's like muscle memory. It's like you see a cowboy or cowboy related thing you just hate. It's a reflex. Right? So can't help it. It's like you see anything cowboy related or even star shaped and you just start hoping that the Cowboys lose. You can't help it, right? You don't want them to win because you want to be ahead of them in the division. So we're playing each other and it's like a big deal because it's toward the end of the season. Basically what I'm getting at is I think it's important to each of us psychologically, but not necessarily for the season. For us, for example, we've already clinched the playoff spot. We know we're going to the playoffs. But also the both of us, I don't think stands a chance against the 49ers, and we're going to have to get past them again if we want to go to the Super Bowl. So so that's what I'm nervous about. Not particularly this game. Because even if we don't clinch the number 1 seed, our season is not over. Obviously, we could, but... Oh, you're a Saints fan, Alicia? Oh, you're from Dallas, Brooklyn? Are you a fan? I'm sorry, I hope I'm not. Like I said, I'm not, I come in peace, okay? Okay, we have got a bit of a rivalry, okay? But, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying not to overthink about tomorrow because I think tomorrow, whoever wins is just important psychologically. Like and that's it. Anyway, I think, and it also depends on who wants it more. Like we got destroyed by the 49ers that last week. And it's because they very obviously wanted it way more than we did. They came for blood. They demanded that game. They commanded that game. Way more than the Commanders could ever, right? They commanded that game. They demanded to win that game. They came in demanding it. And these games, end of the season and you start to get into the playoffs, that's what it's about, is who wants it more. So I don't know how my team's doing psychologically after that horrible loss. I guess I'm about to find out tomorrow, and I'm a little nervous. So I look forward to see who shows up. I can't talk about it anymore. I'm like, why? I'm sorry I'm so emotional about friggin' football. Like, it's just a game. Sorry. I've been a fan for so long. I can't help it. Okay. Wait. Here it is. Hey, everybody. I hope it doesn't become Simba's hoodie by, quote, stuffing it somewhere. I have a funny story about that, and then I'll get to reacting, guys. So, when Simba was a baby kitten, right? Simba was a baby kitten. So what we did was we brought him home, right? He was brand new, and he came home because he demanded to come home, right? You guys just had to see it. He demanded I brought him home. It wasn't like, I didn't have a choice. When I saw him, he was spinning circles. He was clawing at me at the cage. He demanded it, right? So we bring that little baby that demanded we brought home. And we kept, because we had a dog at the time and another cat, so we kept him in my sister's room with the door closed, right? We kept him there for a week or two. And he had just gotten surgery to get fixed. So they told us at the shelter not that he wasn't ready for like litter yet because of his incisions or whatever. So he just had a box with like ripped paper. I'll never forget it because every once in a while he would use that box, but to be honest, he rarely did, and he never pooped. So I was getting worried, right? Like, it had been a week. I saw poop in there in that box maybe once. So there was a bean bag. Oh, everyone's live tonight. Blue Bobo. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't realize everyone's live. I've been so distracted with life. Anyway, yeah, there was a bean bag, and I guess the bean bag, like the chair, wasn't entirely closed. So what happened was, anyway, so you can guess where Simba was going to the bathroom that my sister found. Wait, no way you just watched this video today. What cereal is that? Wait, did you react to it? That's so funny. What cereal is that? Oh my god, I haven't been to one of your videos in a minute. This Vlogmas thing is like... Oh, have fun, Hiccuping Duck. Oh, I hope that they play Hella Pissed Alicia, because that's what I was saying in my last... That's what I was saying in my last stream. I started, like... Okay, so I started to feel like because we were embarrassed so badly, right? And the thing is that so, and it was tough to watch because they were roughing us around friggin', at Lincoln Financial, right? So it's so hard to watch your team get bullied like that. And you kind of want to respond to that, right? Like, you want to take it out on somebody, right? Or I hope that's how they feel, because that's how I started to feel starting around Tuesday. I started to feel like, I kind of want to take, I'm starting to feel like a little mad, right? So I'm hoping that the team's feeling that way, and I guess we'll see, and that's my point. But also, we did also kind of, or the 49ers showed the Cowboys how to beat us, so we'll see if that... Anyway, let's, ferrets are just smaller cats, Banjo said. Oh, I know, they're so cute. Oh, okay, good. You didn't react. What cereal is that? Your team is too easy to bully. Well, look. We'll see. They kind of like, that's how they acted. So, I'll see how they show up tomorrow. I was not happy, and obviously the fans were not happy, and, yeah, anyway. So we'll see. I will see. Okay, so here's ambulance. So this is from May 28th, 2020. It's titled "Stop Telling Me Who I Am." Stop telling me who I am. So I guess Amber knows better than anyone else, including doctors, who she is.
Hey guys,
Hi.
so I hate to comment on my appearance in this sort of video because this video.
Guys, look at that bruise. Her arm here. Oh yeah, that is rough.
Is serious in my opinion. It's just something that needs to be said. But I can
God, her arm. I mean, I gotta say, I think her arms are looking better now, right?
see myself through the camera, obviously, and I look kind of weird, kind of wild. I feel like with this outfit, if I had makeup on, it would definitely make it.
You know what's annoying about that? Because I'm listening to her. I think I gotta speed this up a little bit because she's talking like friggin'. She's got like glue in her mouth, keeping her mouth from moving. Like it's so friggin' slow. Anyway, is it what I'm about to like? She has so much makeup that she's always moving from one container to the other, and the collection is constantly growing. So, when she comments on her appearance, it's just, I mean, sometimes I look in the mirror before I go live and I think, geez, that doesn't look good. So I put some powder under my eye, or I put some chapstick on my chapped lips. Like, that's what I'm getting, because you know that she's got bags and bags and bags and bags of friggin' makeup that she could just fix this with.
Complete. But I just...
Oh, she did look terrible back then. Who said that? Goose. Yeah, Ghost Goose. Oh, just awful. Just awful. But she was very sick. This was not long before her diagnosis, maybe a month or two.
Real quick, so I could film for you guys because this is important and I feel like it needs to be said. And I know a lot of people comment on my scars.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I mean, it's shocking. It's probably the first thing that people friggin' notice or say when they meet you, Amber.
So this was a cat scratch or a dog scratch. I don't remember. Majority of these are like the long ones. And then
okay, I get it. Yeah, cat scratches normally look like that.
These are usually also from like a dog or a cat or something.
Right, yeah. Jamie, thank you. Jamie said she filmed this. I didn't even know this. She filmed this on Mother's Day. So this is what I'm getting at. Like Mother's Day, like this. I tapped a little bit into this with Cat Tarot before. I need to try to go deeper, but I also feel like it's kind of none of my business. But this mom thing is just, it's a very sore topic for her. And I'm telling you, there's just something about moving to Oklahoma and being around her mom just didn't satisfy Amber in a way that she thought it would, or it didn't do something for her that she thought it would, and it's been a little disappointing for her.
You know, it's also
it's probably why she's drinking so much.
My blood type. So every time that I get any sort of wound on me, I will itch and itch and itch it, and then once it has a scab, I will repeatedly pick it over and over and over. I can't control it half the time, so then it takes forever to heal because I won't let it heal because I'll continuously pick the scab, which makes it...
God, she's just so hopeless with how she describes things. There's just nothing you can do about it whatsoever. Like, your only option is to continue to frig with your wounds. There's nothing else you could do. You haven't talked to nobody about it, or maybe discussed other coping mechanisms or nothing like that.
Bigger, bigger, bigger. Infected, worse, 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 and then I get a scar. It's not cute, it's not fun, it's not fresh. I hate that part of me, but I just wanted to mention that. I guess it's one of those things, mention it before someone else does, because I can already see the comments. But what this video is binge eating.
Binge eating. So, okay, so what cereal is that? Said she hasn't changed at all. No, she's exactly the same. She's exactly the same. Like she's so confused whether she binge eats or not, and she binge eats depending on whether or not she wants you to feel bad for her in that moment. I think
I kind of want to talk about a few times when I was younger when I noticed that I was eating more than I should and doing things with food.
Oh, okay. So this is something that's been going on since you were a literal child. Okay, well that doesn't sound like it might be anything clinical or anything.
I shouldn't be doing that, just didn't seem right. And I want to talk about the fact that people don't think that I binge because I plan it. I don't always plan it. That's where there's some confusion. So I do want to start off with a few instances.
So she doesn't even plan it. So if you don't even plan it and you do it anyway, well, gee, that sounds like something that you don't control.
when I was young.
As Sarah said, as a child of addicts, Amber's reliance on her mom is super concerning and also unfair to the mom, by the way. I've thought that, but I wasn't sure if I should. Anyway, the mom's spending a bunch of Amber's money, then going gambling together when they're both addicts. See, that's what I'm saying. Amber's mom isn't going to be able to help Amber on the deep level she needs, and will only end up enabling her on purpose or not. I think we're kind of seeing that happen already because, her mom's got her own, yeah. Like I said, it just hasn't been, I can't really see exactly what it is, but it just hasn't been for Amber what she thought it would be, or maybe what she was hoping it would be with her mom.
So first one is, this is when it was like pivotal, when it really started getting bad. When I was about 9-10 years old, I was in an all-girls group home, and all of our meals were planned. All of our snacks were planned. We didn't get to choose when we ate. We didn't get to choose what to eat. It was all just planned for us. And I remember there were times where if there were no one in the kitchen and everyone was busy doing something, like the staff or the other girls that I was living with, I would steal little like granola bars or fruit roll-ups. Like,
so you have to examine like who Amber is talking to when she tells people these stories, and why she does that. Like what is the end goal? Like, so for us, she's telling us this story because she needs us to feel sympathy for her, right? It's just how people like Amber operate. But to her doctors, she won't mention any of this to her doctors, any of her binging since she was a literal 9-year-old. She's not going to mention it because she wants the weight loss surgery. It depends on the ends. And that's not, so how are you supposed to heal or fix anything that way? Like, okay, so you're telling me, I'm in New Jersey, I have no qualifications. You're telling me that you're binging. But your doctors, you lie and say you don't binge so you can get weight loss surgery. It just
didn't matter. Something quick and easy and ready to just stick in my pocket or stick in a bag I was carrying. And there were 3 bathrooms in the group home. And one of the bathrooms had this little cabinet where you could lift up the bottom of it, and there was like this hole, this like empty space where I would hide the wrappers at. So I would steal the food, I would go to the bathroom, I would eat it, and I would devour it really fast, and then I would hide the wrappings.
Hey guys, I don't know, guys. Just sounds like, I don't know. This sounds pretty clinical. This has been going on since she was an actual kid. Anyway.
I remember also, I was at the group home. I guess this is when it really started, my binge eating. I did Girl Scouts, and how Girl Scouts was back then was you would have someone order the cookies or whatever it was that they were ordering, and you wouldn't give it to them then. You would have to put in the order, right. Then you receive the cookies, right. Then you give it to the person.
Right. Well, so that must have been a really long wait for you, Amber.
I remember this like it was yesterday.
I'm sure you do. See, this is not... Amber remembers like it was yesterday. The one time she was 9 years old, she had to put in an order for Girl Scout cookies and wait. Sorry. I don't mean to make fun of her. She, like I said, she obviously has a problem. This is my point. And like this isn't like the sort of problem that you can probably like handle on your own, is what I'm getting at. So it's probably the sort of thing that you shouldn't lie about to friggin' clinicians that are helping you with your food problems.
I had an order that someone ordered. It was peanut brittle. It was a pretty big thing of peanut brittle. And I remember I was not wanting to, I think it was a teacher actually who I was supposed to give it to. Mm-hmm. I was not wanting to give it to them.
So the food aggression. Starting back then, it's like she had food that she didn't want to give up. Oof, it was starting even back then. So how can she tell us these stories with such amazing clarity? Like she recalls this. She even remembers how she felt. Like she felt like she didn't want to give up the peanut brittle. Like she's recalling this so friggin', God, what cereal is that saying? Girl, you're literally the nicest reactor. please make fun of her. I mean, well, look. Sometimes it comes out. I can't help it. Dana said, "Hey everyone, dang, is Amber okay?" This is from 2020, May 28th, 2020.
It's like making excuses. I was a good Girl Scout, okay?
I'm sure you were, Amber. I'm sure you did all the things. I I imagine Amber actually did all the things to get a friggin' patch or whatever.
I sold a lot of cookies. I gave all the cookies to them. So I'm just saying this was one instance where I'm like, whoa, I look at it now and I'm just like, yikes. So
she probably like remembers that box of cookies. She probably looks back on it. It's like it's what do you call it? It's like the holy grail. It's like the one thing that she missed out on in life. You know what I mean? And the one thing that would make it all better is if she could only have that one box of cookies back.
Long story short, I did not give the brittle to the teacher. She never asked about it or anything, which I thought was really weird. What I did do with it though was one day I was supposed to be showering, but what I did was I turned the shower on. I closed the door so the staff thought I was showering. But I was actually in my room, in the closet, hiding, eating the whole thing of peanut brittle.
Oh my God, that's so conniving. She was by far the best Girl Scout for sure, Mike. Survival Lynn. Ruthie said, quote, "I gave all the cookies to them, except the ones you didn't, except the giant bag of peanut brittle." How do you forget about a bag of peanut brittle? That's what I'm wondering. I would never forget about that. Dang it.
I'll be honest, peanut brittle's okay. It's not even that great. And as a 10-year-old to eat that much peanut brittle in one time.
That's Ashley saying she is, that's what I'm thinking.
So that's how I noticed.
Ashley saying she is loving this memory, that smile. That's what I'm saying. Like, she remembers this so clearly. She probably has so many fond memories about food, and she doesn't even think it's weird. And like, not even worth, like, you don't want to bring this up with a psychologist at all. You're just gonna spend all your time in a closet in Oklahoma getting drunk. I don't get
that. The binging was starting. I always waited till I was alone by myself, but it's like I knew I was going to do it. And that's where I kind of want to talk to you guys about planned binging. So I do have a lot of...
So she doesn't binge, and she also definitely doesn't plan her binges. Except when she does, such as in this video. Hold on, someone said... Annabelle, thank you for pointing this out. How did I not catch that? Ironically, talking about not showering while she does not shower all year. Yes, this was the year she did not shower. So, every once in a while, I guess she slips in some truth. Oh, I didn't shower yet today. Well, girl, you didn't shower all year, it sounds like.
Stories about instances where I have binged so bad to literally sickness, and I still continue to binge. Maybe I could share those in a future video, but I just really wanted this video to be focused on the first time I noticed I had a problem, and now the planned binges. A lot of people think that you cannot plan a binge. That is false information. I'm sorry, but you cannot tell someone that they're not binging versus if they are binging. You guys do not know me. You guys do not see how I am. You guys do not see me when I am binging. You guys don't know my thought process. You don't know anything regarding that. I try my hardest to...
Wow, jeez. Brooklyn said, y'all about to make me bake these cookies. I'm not making you do anything. I don't know. She's just... God, I don't even know what to say. She's like speaking so... Look at her face. Like, let me tell you how it is, guys. And it's like, well, yeah, but now then you also say that you don't binge. Anyway.
Who share certain parts of it, but you guys don't know everything.
No, and we, you know, and neither do... Yeah, and neither do your doctors. Like, how come you don't give your doctors a nice, clear friggin' picture like you gave us? Is it because you have a different agenda with us than your doctors? Because that's weird.
And there are a lot of people who watch me who do binge. There are a lot of people who watch me who have different types of eating disorders that are the opposite of mine, but we relate to each other. I have met so many wonderful people via personal messages, like private messages. I don't know why I said personal. What the heck am I talking about? Private messages on Instagram, which is the main source where I've met these people, where you guys open up to me about your disorders and you relate to me. There are people who binge, there are people who restrict really bad, but I'm going to be talking about binging and how there are so many of you who relate to me in the sense of you also plan binges.
Okay, anyway, so I let her talk for a while there. I think the thing is that she... I don't even know what to say. It's like she loves getting all the messages and all the attention and all of this and that from her binging. It's like, yes, let's all get in a big circle and kumbaya and talk about all our foods that we stuffed in our faces. And you want all the attention for it, but recoil when it's on you to friggin', do something about it and get help. I think she just wants to be told, well, you know what, Amber, you had a bad childhood. Why don't you just sit there with a box of cookies and don't worry about it? Like, I think that's what she honestly wants to hear. Oh, Amber, no wonder you binge. Here you go, hon. Here's some donuts.
There is another YouTuber that I adore who is a weight loss channel that I'm not going to be mentioning any names because I'm kind of done doing that.
Yeah, okay.
They have successfully, I wouldn't say beat their binge eating disorder, but they have conquered it in a way that I wish I could.
Oh, is this Jordan Shrinks?
And they talk a lot about how a lot of their binges were planned. So when I binge, I like to do it alone or near Becky. And it wasn't like that in the beginning, I could tell you that much. I didn't like to be around anybody. But since I've grown older, I always do it around my girlfriend once I get comfortable around them. And
oh, well, she admitted it. What we've all seen. Like, she admits, like, once I'm comfortable. So I guess what happened was she got comfortable around Winifred. And I guess Winifred just wasn't here for that. That could have been a part of it. Like, Amber's used to just binging like a banshee in front of her girlfriends, and they have to deal with it because her girlfriends are younger and financially dependent on Amber, so they just sit there and deal with Amber and go and get more french fries for Amber or whatever. But oy, oy, oy.
it's like, it's weird to share and it's not comfortable. How do I explain this? Like, I'm comfortable around my partner doing that, but it's also very uncomfortable. Like, I feel ashamed and stuff like that. And since I prefer to do it alone and I prefer to do it in my bedroom, I don't think I've ever binged in the living room. I've never binged in the dining room. I've never binged in the den. It's always my room. It's always in the same spot, and I'm always doing the same exact thing. I am binging super hard while watching a TV show, YouTube, doesn't even matter. And it's a fast-paced binge. I eat really fast, large quantities of food. Sometimes I don't even realize how much I've ate till it's gone, until...
So, did you forget this when you were talking to your weight loss surgery people? Like, do you think she just forgot that she binged? Because it's weird, because she remembers binging on peanut brittle when she was 9 or whatever. She remembers that, but... So, I just find it odd that she forgot all this when she was talking to the weight loss surgery people. That's so weird.
I see the wrappers and things like that. And subconsciously, a lot of
Oh, that's a good point. What cereal is that said? She's full of crap. She ate that damn rotisserie chicken in front of everyone. That's a good point. She also mukbangs, so that's kind of weird for her to say.
Binge in private. And if people did not binge in private, if they just binged whenever they felt like binging, then they would be binging in front of friends, in front of family. Wherever they want to binge, they'd just be binging. Mm-hmm. I've never binged in a restaurant, never binged at a friend's house, ever. It's always in my room. That's been how it's been for the last 10 years. It's always
been. Amber, just because you're binging alone in your room doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Maybe it feels a little bit like that in the moment, but when you're talking to a doctor and they're asking if you binge eat, just because you did it alone in your room doesn't mean it didn't happen, girl. You still have to tell them. I can't believe I didn't know this video existed back when that was going on, when Amber was telling the weight loss surgery people that she didn't binge. Oh my God, why didn't I have this video up on the ready?
My room. And obviously, to create that plan, I have to be sitting there in the middle of the day or right before I'm about to go to a grocery store, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy all the foods I'm gonna be binging on tonight in my bedroom. So subconsciously, people are planning their binges because they do it alone. And don't get me wrong, I wanna say about 60% of the time, it is not planned. It just comes with a full force that you cannot.
But Jamie said, I'm so glad she cured her binge eating disorder. I know, like, honestly, this sounds like this is a horrible experience, and I'm so glad that Amber's cured of it.
Control it, but you also can't control it when it's planned, because once you have your mind set on that binge, right, you're ready for that high, and I think that's where...
Somebody opening up soda mine. Sorry. She has a foodapalooza going on over there.
It's also hard for me to explain because it's not only do I binge eat, but I'm also a food addict. And by being a food addict,
Oh, so she's both. But now she's neither somehow. So, okay.
I want that high. I'm addicted to what food makes me feel like. I'm addicted to how it makes me numb, but it makes me feel good while I'm eating it.
So why didn't she say all this to her guys? I can't. Yeah, Allison said I totally believe she hid her binges from Folgers. Well, that's the thing. I don't know if Folgers knew about, but she had to have though. I know that was a loud and crisp soda opening, right, Sarah? I know, it made me want a soda a little bit.
And I think that's another reason why planned binges. Also, there's a fine line between am I just planning for my next high versus am I planning for my next binge. For me, because I've been in my body for almost 30 years, I've been struggling with this for my whole freaking life.
Oh wow, she's been struggling with this her whole freaking life. Jeez, you'd figure that she would have brought this up when the weight loss surgery people asked her if she binged.
It's just when I was 10, I finally realized something wasn't right because I didn't know of anyone else sneaking food.
10 years old. I didn't know of anyone else doing this, she's saying. So she had that kind of awareness, but not the awareness when all those years later, 20 years later, or whatever, they ask you if you binge eat. Like, come on.
Eating so much food that I couldn't breathe after eating it, and I was having stomach pains.
Wow, so much food you couldn't breathe. That sounds like a binge to me. Yeah, well, Ashley said this is the type of thing that should just be a private diary. Well, that, but also to tell to, once again, people that a weight, what do you call it? A eating disorder specialist who specializes in this exact thing. I feel like this would have been an appropriate time to bring it up. Is it inappropriate to trauma dump it in a YouTube video to a bunch of strangers? That's debatable, but definitely appropriate to tell a binge eating specialist. For sure.
Still, for some reason, I just kept eating and eating and eating, and I could not stop.
For some reason, I couldn't stop eating. That, once again, sounds like it may be a binge. I could be like jumping to conclusions, but
I keep losing my train of thought because that's what happens when I ramble. I feel like there's never any structure to these types of videos because I just feel like I go on and on and on. But sometimes that's just how I kind of get my point across and express like my true feelings regarding the subject and kind of like what I've went through and what I am going through. I think one of the most satisfying feelings for me during a planned binge is anticipating the binge. Like back before.
Wow, she like licked her lips and everything. I believe her there.
You know, the virus started happening.
So not only does she binge and plan to binge, she also looks forward to it. And it's one of her favorite things. What cereal is that? Said, girl, what train of thought? A derailed one. Like one of those trains with a bunch of toxic chemicals on it. Like one of those. That's what happened to it.
When I was at a grocery store and I was choosing...
My fish has more thoughts than her. She has thoughts. It's just she has thoughts about her binge eating disorder, which is bizarre because she doesn't have it.
So I was going to binge on. That was such a fun and wonderful feeling to me, and I was so excited to just stuff my face silly later because when I say that I feel possessed when I binge, it is a whole stride of things.
Well, gee, Amber, that sounds like a clinical condition. Jamie, thank you so much for gifting memberships. That is so sweet. Thank you so much.
Once I'm at the store and I'm planning that binge, that's when
here's my question though. She doesn't binge though, so how do you plan for something you don't do? That's my only confusion.
Has started. It's not just this like, I mean, sometimes it is, okay? But this video, I'm strictly just trying to talk about the planned binges. Okay. Because if I wasn't, yes, sometimes it is a very quick, bam, you want to binge and you will do anything you can for it to happen. And it's like, you can't control it. But for a planned binge, sometimes it's not just this quick thing that you have when it's unplanned. Sometimes it's like, you're in the store and you're like, I'm gonna eat that whole thing of Dove chocolate I'm gonna eat that whole Ben and Jerry's. I'm gonna get those hot Cheetos. I'm gonna get those frozen burritos.
You know what it is? Like I said, I'm just not sure how you plan for something you don't do. So, Amina said you can tell she's using so many more filters now. She does magically look a lot better now, doesn't she?
I'm going to go home and I'm going to eat every single one of those things. That is a planned binge.
Okay, so I'm not like she keeps. I thought you didn't binge though. So confusing.
And a lot of people do that, and the only reason why I know this, and I'm not trying to speak for other people, is because I talk to you guys. We are a community, and I am so freaking glad that I have.
So wait, she's in a whole ass community with people. Like, what is this? So you made so it's a whole community of people that don't binge or do binge. I'm just not sure how you form a community around something that you don't do. That's a little confusing.
Opened up about this, which I opened up about this years ago.
Jamie's asking, why does she always say you instead of I? Because she wants to like speak to us from a position of authority, because it's probably a cluster C thing.
I have met so many people who relate and understand. I have met people who have healed and they've gone to treatment.
Or is it cluster B?
And they have talked to me about it. I've met people who literally share the same story as I do. I have met people.
Well, I bet no one's met someone who's healed as much as you, Amber. I just don't know. Here's my thing. I just don't know why she doesn't share her wisdom of how she overcame such a horrendous eating disorder.
Who just started binge eating. I have met so many types of people, no, not in person, but online. And I will forever be grateful for you guys, because if it wasn't for you guys, I would feel crazy. I would feel absolutely crazy, because I see all these comments. You're not a binge eater. You're such a liar. You don't plan binges. These are people who don't.
Amber, the only person who tried telling you, Amber, that you don't binge eat is you. Telling yourself, oh, no, I don't binge anymore. Like, what are you talking about? Like, oh my God, I don't even know what to say to this. Like, oh, I guess cluster B. Thank you. I just don't get, like. Ashley said you can't even brush your hair before this lecture. She's just gotta lecture us. Like, she's gotta be above us somehow. It's crazy.
Don't know their information fully, and I understand that. And by seeing those comments, it's like people start to make me question, who am I as a person? Do I know
who are I? Do you even binge eat? It's just so. Why is she mad about that, T-Sky? Because she's just mad at us for no reason, just because she's above us.
I'm talking about. Duh, of course I do, because this is my story, this is my journey, and I know exactly how it feels to be not in control of your body when you are binging.
So why didn't you talk to the ED? Why didn't you mention that? Why'd you try telling the ED? I can't. Yeah, that's cluster B with cluster A overlaps. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just saying that there's tendencies. That's all I'm saying. Anyway.
My binges are painful. They are.
So it's painful. So why wouldn't you speak to a doctor about this said pain? Like, you don't just binge, you painfully binge. You just would really figure that would come up when an eating disorder specialist asks you if you binge.
I literally have different types of binges. Sometimes my binges are where I will eat until I'm sick and I'll still keep eating.
Oh, she doesn't binge, and she'll still keep eating, but she doesn't binge though.
There are times where I binge where for some reason I can't get full. That fullness will not happen, and I just keep eating and eating and eating and eating until I try to reach that. And when I binge, I know the difference between binging versus overeating because I'm a food addict, or binging versus I'm eating in large quantities because I'm a food addict. Because when I binge, I eat faster, I get sick, I am not there and I'm not thinking clearly. Those are my binges.
Okay, so she can actually speak of what a binge is and how it feels very, very, very coherently. Like, she's describing it in a lot of detail. So I'm just not sure why she forgot about all this, which She talked to the eating. That's the thing. I'm getting annoyed because all of this was never addressed. What happened to the eating disorder place? What happened to the weight loss surgery place? Amber said she was going to tell us what happened with weight loss surgery. She never did. You know what I think actually happens? I could be way off base. I think that as soon as a clinician or a doctor or the weight loss surgery or whatever, they start talking to Amber about what's going to be expected of her, I think that's when she clicks off. It's like Amber just wants to hear, oh my God, poor baby, let me get some popcorn. Tell me about how bad your childhood was. Like, I think that's what Amber wants.
Afterwards, I feel guilt. I feel disgusting. And it's so much more food versus my overeating aspect. And while I'm eating, both of those things feel differently. Binging versus overeating versus overindulgence. Those are all different because I do all of those things. And
so it just sounds like, so she can tell the difference between binging, overeating, and eating too much and whatever. Like, she has it so clear in her head. Like, it's she could even divide her binges into super specific categories. Very specific. She divides them into like her different sized organizational cubes. She puts all her, but then she talks to a doctor about it and, oh, I don't binge. Jeez.
I will always overeat. I'll forever overeat. What I'm trying to conquer is the binging, and it's hard and it's scary. And
how are you trying to conquer that, Amber? Like, you're just making videos about it and wanting like sympathy and stuff.
I feel out of control a lot of the time. And it's just like, it's a mess because the mixture of like being a food addict with it, I think that's what really just gets me, because it's like, it's almost like,
what if it's all just like the same thing? Like, just, what if you got help for it and you actually followed their advice? How about that? Why don't you ask that?
The food addict in me also loves the high of the binge. You know, it's twisted. It is so twisted, and I hate myself for it, but I have to realize that this is not my fault. And I need everyone who is watching me who has an eating disorder, no matter what type, it is not your fault. And don't let anyone ever invalidate you, ever.
Okay, all right, Amber. No, here's the thing. You're invalidating yourself. I'm pretty sure that I can believe you if you say that you binge and you have binge eating disorder. No offense, but you kind of look like you can't control yourself around food. I don't doubt it. You're the one that apparently, you know, didn't have a binge eating disorder when the push came to shove. T-Sky said her identity is trauma and food. If she tried to fix either, she'd lose her victimhood. Anyway.
Because you know what you are going through. You are the only one who knows. No one else. Okay? And
so especially your doctors especially don't know if you don't tell them about it. Yes. Who's Sock Puppet said, I remember during her voicemail Q&A era. Oh my God, take me back. The Wrong Shoes asked her, quote, what happened to the binge monster? And Amber said, yikes on bikes. I remember that. She said, yikes. What's that mean, Amber? What's that mean? What happened to it? What happened to this whole... You've been rambling for all this time. I'm making a whole ass video about it myself right now. What happened to this binge monster that apparently had you in your grips all this time? Hilda said, nothing she does is her fault. You need to realize that. That's what... It's like Amber's like, don't expect anything of me ever. Because I was a victim once. Jeez.
Sometimes you try to explain it. You try to open up to people and people don't take you seriously. I completely understand that too.
You know who would take you seriously was a bunch of doctors.
Because people who do not understand eating disorders will not understand eating disorders.
So what, you understand eating disorders more than an eating disorder doctor, specialist, clinician in an eating disorder program where they treat people with eating disorders? You know more than them too? Even though you don't have an eating disorder, though, because you magically cured yourself of that.
They just won't get it. And I also want to say...
Oh, I won't get it. I'm the one who's confused, apparently.
There could be 3 binge eaters in a room, and y'all could binge eat differently. Y'all could feel differently while doing it. Everyone has a different story.
Oh, everyone's a unique, special binge snowflake.
It's going to be completely the same. But I think that's what I'm grateful for, is that there are people I have met from having such a huge audience that are similar, to me. But there are also people who have completely different stories to me, but we're able to bond through that because we know how each other feels. It's just that feeling of being not in control. And it's
I just feel like if this were true, that it would have come up when she was talking to the eating disorder people, because, like, look, my sympathy is with her if she literally can't control herself around food. Like, that's ass. However, it's still, you still have to go get help for it. Like, the thing is, I mean, you could whine about it for the rest of your life and act like a victim about it for the rest of your life, but not everyone's going to feel bad for you for the rest of your life, though. That's the thing. Like, after a while, people kind of get tired of hearing someone complain. It's like, it's annoying. Exactly. Sock Puppet said, no one knows nutrition like Amber, not even medical professionals. For real.
terrifying. It is terrifying. Like, when people say,
it sounds terrifying not being able to control yourself around food. It also sounds like an eating disorder.
Control it.
A little bit.
I don't know what planet you're from. I really, truly don't. But sometimes you can't control it.
Well, what planet are you from if you're feeling this way and you're telling yourself you don't have a binge disorder all of a sudden?
Sometimes you cannot control it. And it's not because I'm fat. It's not because I love food. Because more than anything...
You're right. Woma said it did come up and they told her she had to prove she no longer will binge, eat for a year to qualify for weight loss surgery. That probably wasn't... This is what annoys me. This is what annoys me, guys. Is that probably wasn't the way they worded it. But that's how Amber took it. So that's what she told us. That's probably not what the weight loss surgery place said. They probably said that she had to maintain her weight for a year or something like that. That she had to maintain the program and fill a food journal and do X, Y, and Z. She probably had to do X, Y, and Z. But Amber listened to that and thought, I can't binge for a year. Like, that's probably what she... Anyway. They had more work to do with her in that place. She wasn't ready for weight loss surgery. I remember this. She wasn't ready. So they didn't give it to her yet. So she quit it. It's like it's not that she was denied. It's that she just, well, she was for that moment though. She just had more steps to do. And she gave up, dang it.
I think I hate food more than I love food. This isn't about the taste of food. Duh, a lot of it tastes good, but it's not about that. It's so much deeper and it's so much more than you guys could ever even comprehend unless you struggle with it. And I know I'll continue to have people say you don't have a binge eating disorder, you don't binge.
No, right, you. You're the one saying that you don't have binge eating disorder now. How ridiculous. So because she never got this treated at all whatsoever, and she's acting like playing bingo with her mom is curing something, she's probably binging every day, and that's why she's looking like she is.
You don't that, and that's okay. You're not in my room when I do it, and you're not in my head when I do it. You're not there afterwards when I cry, and you're not there during it when I look like an actual pig. So that's that. And I don't want...
She's so out of control, she's crying afterward. But she doesn't have an eating disorder, though. I love her earrings here, though, guys, for real. I wish I had one. Those are beautiful.
Like a disgusting pig when I do it. But that's me and myself. It's kind of like one of those situations where your skinny friend is like, oh my God, I'm so fat. But then you look at them and you're like, no, you're not. So what do you think of me then? A lot of the times you are your own worst enemy, and my skinny friend who thinks they're fat, they don't look at me like I'm a fat person. They look at me as BingeLynn. You know, it's like everyone is their own worst enemy. I don't look at other people who binge eat like fat pigs. I look at me like that because I am...
Amber making this about weight when she doesn't have to right now. Yeah, I agree. What Serial is that said, she's seriously more immature today than she was during this video. She was so... The way she talked in this video was so... She spoke so soberly and so... Like, it doesn't sound like she's confused about what her problem is here. It doesn't sound like there's any confusion. It sounds like she's very aware of what she does. So... Anyway.
My own worst enemy. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. It's just like... You could have too big of a nose and you hate yourself for it, but then you look at someone else, they have a big nose, but you don't look at them for their big nose. You look at them and you think they're beautiful. You know, it's just like, sometimes you can never just be fully happy with who you are, and you're always...
Well, Amber, this isn't like a fixed thing that you can't do. See, you can't do nothing about your nose, Amber. And you're the one that turned this into weight all of a sudden. I don't know why you brought up weight, but you're the one that brought it up, even though. Anyway, I won't get into it, but you're the one that brought it up. So you can change that. You can change your behaviors. You can change your habits. You can change your lifestyle. Oh, you're right. Ashley said, remember Winifred watched this and liked it and wanted to move in with her. Yeah, there are red flags all over that relationship.
Critiquing yourself, and that's a whole other subject for a completely different day, you guys. But I just wanted to explain that more, and I feel like I'm gonna forget a lot of what I really truly want to say in this video, but I just wanted to get that out.
No, I know. I think you got it out what you really truly wanted to say. What you really truly wanted to do, actually, what you truly wanted to do was get like concerned comments. And you wanted us to think that you're some kind of victim. That's what you really wanted.
People need to stop telling me, you have this, you don't have that, you have this, but you do have that. That's not up for you. That's not up to you.
So I can't. So who's it up to, Amber? Who's it up to? You can't leave it up to your doctors either if you're not honest with them. So how about that? Well, what cereal is that? Is saying Mama Lynn is making her regress. Here's the thing, though, and you know, Mama Lynn, I know that I just kind of don't want to pick on her or even talk about her too much because, I mean, she has her own life and her own issues and her own sobriety to worry about. And I'm not saying, it's kind of ridiculous to assume that she would do anything other than that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, see, what cereal is that? You know, I don't know what to say other than it's not that I feel bad for her mom. It's just her mom's just not equipped. And, yeah, Cuppy Cake said, I think she was regressing with Folder, honestly. I think that's kind of my point, is that if Amber's regressing, it's no one's fault but hers. And it would be a little silly of Amber to expect her mom to help her not regress.
You don't have my blood work. You don't see me in real life. You don't know anything. Like, I'm not trying
Amber,
to...
you don't even have a doctor in Oklahoma now. What are you doing?
But that's not up to you. You're not my doctor. You're not my therapist. You're not my psychiatrist.
You don't even have a doctor or a therapist or psychiatrist or none of that now. You abandoned all of it, and now you get drunk in a closet all the time.
You're not my nurse. You're not my dentist. You're not anything.
Amber said that as if she goes to any of those things.
You just watch me, and you watch what I choose to show you. And I don't show you everything. So anyways, I am going to end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed and maybe understand just a little bit better, but I feel like you don't because this was mainly me rambling. Anyway.
Ghost Goose said, remember that people only said she didn't have BED, binge eating disorder, because it was not an official diagnosis until the DSM-5 came out. So what's that matter? I'm saying to Amber, like, who cares if it wasn't in the DSM? All the conditions in the DSM weren't in it as once. That is not a good excuse. Sorry, I know I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at Amber. That's not a good excuse. At all, I would say. Absolutely at all. All right, so I'm trying to think of... You know what I would do for you guys? Do the Eagles have a night game tomorrow? It's a night game. I wish I could go live after the night game, but a friggin' night game, I'm barely going to be able to stay awake for it. Eagles game. What time is it tomorrow? Okay, I think it's a night game. I hate night games. Ugh, 8:20. That's so late. I go to bed, guys, at like between 9 and 10 o'clock. Like, night games are terrible for me. I have to drink coffee during them. Because what I would love is for my Vlogmas tomorrow is I can go live tomorrow and just react to like how the game was or whatever. What I would love to do is just live stream the game. It is over. Dana, I'm sorry. I just finished it. God, I wish I could like stream the game, but I can't. If it was not a night game, I would totally do it for you guys. Oh my God, wait, who's that? Annabelle said your glasses need... I wash my let me tell you what. I wash my glasses all day. I don't know how they get smudgy like this. I just keep getting like stuff on my glasses. I have no idea how or why. So, anyway. Oh my God, it's 1:45 where you are, Annabelle? Well, guys, I feel like I need to wrap this up because my mom needs my help. The kids are about to come home at any minute, so I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing tomorrow for Vlogmas. I actually have no idea, and I'm all caught up, and I'm a little nervous. So make sure your notifications are on, and I hope you guys are enjoying the vlogs that I'm posting. Please make sure that you watch the vlog I posted yesterday because it was really funny. Oh, I hope your cookies come out good, Brooklyn. That's what I'm hoping we do tomorrow is make some cookies. Oh, that would be so much fun. Yummy. I hope they come out really good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming. And you know what? I'm going to see you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm not sure in what shape or form, but I'll, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. Bye. But can I talk?